Hi, I'm Amber, welcome back to Cat's Reads, and today I'm going to share with you my final installment of the book haul. As I said, this is the last installment. This is the fourth part of this book haul. Let's just jump in with the first book, which was Banner of the Damned by Sherwood Smith. I picked this up. I thought it was a standalone. I actually read the synopsis in the bookstore before I bought it, and I didn't see anything in the synopsis that would have told me that it was part of any other series or in the world that was built on another series. And then I get home and I'm reading it again, and I realized that it's not a it's not a series, it's not in the middle of a series, but it's set in the world of the end of series. And in researching it after I found that out, I realized that it talks about things that directly relate back to that series, and so those would be considered spoilers for me. And now I have to wait until I decide to borrow that book from the library or buy the first book or whatever before I can even get to this book, because I don't want to be spoiled. And I'm very disappointed in myself because I don't like the idea that I just spent money on this, and I don't even know if I'm gonna like the end of series or writing or anything. And I was really happy that this was a standalone, because this would have been a great introduction to her writing and stuff, and nope, not really a standalone. So we have that. I am looking forward to reading it up, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen anytime soon. Next, I picked up Bleak House by Charles Dickens. I really don't know how to describe this. I know it's about a family that is dealing with, I think they're trying to deal with inheritance money, I think. And it's all very complicated. You just have to kind of read it in order to get the story, I guess. I watched the miniseries, so you'd think I would be able to talk about what it is about. But again, it's just one of those things where you just have to read it or watch it. And that's why I picked this up. I'm most excited for Bleak House, as I wouldn't have picked this up considering that I have Great Expectations and Oliver Twist yet on my shelves to read. So I wouldn't have, and I shouldn't have, but I did because I watched the miniseries and I really enjoyed it, and I think it will help me in reading this. But I am reading Christmas Carol right now, and I'm really enjoying his writing style. He has humor, and I'm really liking him. So I think that I will be able to get through his stuff, but probably shouldn't. I mean, look at this. This is massive. So I'm not going to be reading this I'm not going to be reading this one at any time soon, but I did at the same time because, like I said, I really enjoyed the miniseries, and I had to have it. This would have been the one I picked up before those other two, but it just didn't happen. The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. This is the first book in a trilogy or series. I'm not even sure what the series is really called, but this is set in Leningrad, 1941. This is about Tatiana, who falls in love with a soldier, and it's about their relationship and the struggles with the war and things like that, and how it affects not only her and their relationship but also her family. And I did begin reading this years ago, but it was on an ebook, and I really don't like the Nook, and I can't really afford to go get myself a Kindle, and I really don't care to go and spend that money on something that I really don't particularly care for either way. So I just decided that I was going to pick it up in physical form, especially when I saw it, and if I do end up liking it, I'm going to be buying a new one. Like, every time I look at this, I see something else that's wrong with it, and at first I thought it was just this, but no, there's water issues. And Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. This is his most famous work of poetry, and so I've definitely been wanting to read this, but I could never find it on its own. It's always been in some other kind of collection, and yeah, so I just really wanted it, and I'm glad to have it. And you know, I don't know how I'm gonna read it, if I should read it like a normal book, or I can read a poem here and there. Would I be missing something out? I don't know, because I know that it kind of reads like a story, like each poem is connected to one another. So we'll see. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. This is about two brothers who dream about owning their own farm, and then one of the brothers ends up kind of flirting with a woman, and how that changes the dynamics between the brothers and the dream of owning a farm, I think. And yes, so I've read the Pearl, which is as short as this, and I read it in class, so that might have been one of the reasons why I like the Pearl so much. But I did try to read East of Eden, and I'm not even sure about that. I'm going to reread it at some point and see if I can get through it better and kind of understand it, or at least enjoy it better than the first time. I don't really know what it is. Maybe he just doesn't work well for me in his bigger works, but either way, I'm hoping that I will enjoy this. I also picked up A Woman in Love and Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence. I think I kind of thought these were connected somehow when I picked them up together, but they're really not. They're completely two different stories. Actually, Woman in Love is connected to the rainbow, or at least in the sense that the two main characters of this book appeared in the rainbow. So, other than that, I don't think there is any like duology series that he's written. Either way, Sons of Lovers is about a mother who's disillusioned with her drunken husband and puts all of her hopes on her son, but then he ends up kind of disappointing her when he kind of gets into relationships with two different women. And then here we have Gudrun and Ursula, who each of them fall in love with two different men, but it's how those relationships affect their relationships as sisters together and things like that. And what I've heard is that he tends to put himself in the story somehow, like he might be one of the characters, and it kind of shines back on his own life a little bit. So definitely intrigued by that aspect. The very last book that I picked up is George Washington's Surprise Attack, A New Look at the Battle That Divided the Fate of America by Philip Thomas Tugger, PhD. So this is about the Battle of Trenton and how George Washington was able to find a way to sneak up on the British. And the thing about it was that this side was struggling, losing battle after battle, and I think we were just like, I think they were just losing hope completely in ever winning this war. But the Battle of Trenton definitely changed the direction for them, at least in the sense of giving them hope. And so I'm very intrigued by this because it has two elements that I'm very much happy for. The fact that it deals with George Washington and deals with the Revolutionary War. There you go, that is the last installment of my 4-part book haul. Thank you all so much for staying with me throughout this. I hope you enjoyed it in any way. Thank you all so much for watching, and keep smiling.